Hey everyone, welcome to the recordings from the Job Ready International Student eSummit. This online webinar was so much fun, packed full of incredible information to help you, especially international students, get job ready and be prepared for your job search here in America. So excited to share these videos with you. And don't forget, our summer course, Job Ready in 10 Weeks, is about to start. Don't forget to register because it's going to help you guys even more in your job search here in America. This presentation is the final panel Q&A from the eSummit. So it was a free-for-all of answering all your guys' questions. There's incredible nuggets of information of all the important questions you guys are wondering right now. So yeah, be sure to watch this. It's going to help you a ton. Grab some chai and join us. Do the final wrap-up Q&A panel. So this is a free-for-all battle royale. Throw your guys' questions at us in the Q&A box, and we're going to do as best we can to answer your guys' questions.
So far, we've answered 132 questions, over 132 questions. So that's pretty awesome.
That's awesome. Great work, guys. All right, here we got one from Arvind. What kind of positions of responsibilities can be taken during our masters for effective interaction with company professionals?
In my college, we had a couple of clubs like the consulting club, product management club. You can try to join the leadership board of that club, or try to be a secretary or join the e-board. We also had like this Duke Interdisciplinary Social Innovators. So it was like a non-profit organization that was helping out local places into developing a business plan. So joining these organizations that are really popular amongst the alumni is really effective, and I highly recommend.
Yeah, and adding to Dhruv's point, there are so many events going on specifically to your course. Like there might be suppose talking about civil engineering, there might be a competition going on to construct a bridge out of something. And so there are so many things which are going on in which you can participate and get you involved in all the campus activities. So that's a great way to interact and build your professional networking.
Yeah, and along with the clubs and organizations, a great hack is volunteer. Career services and different departments are always looking for student volunteers. And that's actually the best way. So my friends, they volunteer at the career fair. So they're the ones setting up, helping the booths, sharing the coffee, making copies. But they're the ones that before the career fair even starts, they're hanging out with the recruiters. And after the career fair is over, they're hanging out with the recruiters. And you remember who the recruiters are going to remember? Not the 1,000 people in the line. They're going to remember the person that got them the coffee or the water bottle or helped them to set up the table. And so volunteering at those things is a great way to meet the recruiters.
That is such a good hack, man. Such a good hack. That is amazing. Yes.
Great advice, Rob. Great advice.
And if some organization is not interesting to you, like you don't find anything interesting, start making your own, start collecting people who are interested in your thought. And in that way you can build your own organization or club and then go from there. That's also a good point.
And also having connection with the career services department in your university. Like having a career advisor. I had one advisor in my college. I'm still in touch with him, and just who knows your goals is also very useful.
AD asked another question. I think this one should be quite relevant to you, Dhruv, as you talked about this. They said, if I'm applying for job on OPT and planning to pursue PhD after 2 years, do I need to say yes for the sponsorship question in the online application?
So I answered that question. It's always good to let them know like what your status is, if you require sponsorship or not, because eventually they will come to know. But I think Gaurav will be able to answer that better because of the visa.
Yeah, of course. It's like, it's as I said in my presentation too, like it's before the interview, while you interact on your emails or your phone call, you need to make specifically correction and let them aware of that you are on a visa or something, because during the interview call, if you tell them, then they might lose an interest. And if you tell before time, and if they still continue to take your interview, that means they are really interested and they will go ahead with your application.
And for PhD students, it's really important to go back and forth with email with the professor, because if you have a good rapport with the professor, then it's better. You end up becoming an assistant professor as a PhD student and do postdoc and whatnot.
All right, someone asked, is it better to work for a year after undergrad and try for coming in fall 2022, or should they join directly in fall 2021 without any work experience? Specifically, they're considering masters in computer science. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think when it comes to CS, you have the opportunity even more than in other fields. It is more likely when you have a degree in CS to get a job, any type of job, without any experience. So I think it is likely for you to be able to find a job without necessarily having to have any work experience, or even without even having to have a master's. But I think this is completely up to you. I don't think there's an answer that fits all. It depends on your financial situation. Do you have the money now to pay for your master's? Do you want to make money while you work to pay for your master's? It depends really, and also even when it comes to the economy, it's hard to tell how things are going to be in 2021. So I think it really depends on your personal situation.
Yeah, as I like said, I didn't have any experience when I came to the United States. I just had some internships. But if you get an opportunity, it's always good to have experience. But if you don't have, and if you want to come directly, that's also not an issue, because at the end, it depends on your skill sets and your ability to present yourself in front of the world. So it completely depends on you.
Yeah, in short, work experience always helps, especially getting a job in America, and especially if it's relevant to what you're studying. But I know lots of people who come straight from undergrad and still get jobs. So it's definitely not impossible. Again, do what's best for you.
I've had so many friends in my program coming in from the same company that they worked in India. Like some people worked in Deloitte, some people worked at Uber back in India, and now they're working with the same company over here. I mean, I'm just checking out their LinkedIn updates right now, and I was just surprised. But yeah, it definitely gives you an edge.
They asked if sports are a part of a university life, and I say yes, of course. And I also mentioned that for you as an international student, undergrad or whatever, it's very important for you to hold leadership positions, and hold leadership positions in sports while university is a great way to stand out as well. So definitely sports are definitely a part of the college university experience, and is a great way to stand out.
I know a lot of my friends in my undergrad who got complete scholarship because they were in their varsity soccer team or varsity volleyball team, and they got a full ride in college, and then they had to take classes accordingly. And one of them even turned out to play for like the Israeli volleyball team.
Yeah, I mentioned before in my presentation, I came to the United States under a full scholarship. So I actually don't pay like nothing to study and play soccer as well at Central College. So definitely sport is a great opportunity for every international student to come to America and to stand out while you're here.
And how can you write that down in your resume? Like reflect that.
Say again?
That one of the students asked me, like, how can you write about sports in your resume, or like your achievements, translate that. So I'm just trying to think about it.
I mean,
do you have any advice on that, Rob?
I mean, just putting it on there is a good thing. It shows that you're diverse. You have a life outside the classroom, you know, leadership and teamwork, you know how to balance, because being a college athlete, it's like a full-time job. And sports is huge in America. So it's just a great extra thing that adds and is value and unique about you, you know, and because Americans love sports, so they want to talk about that. And so it's a great selling point. The sports teams in colleges in America are as big as the professional teams here. The college stadiums are bigger than most professional stadiums around the world. And they also have what's called intramural sports. So even if you're not a varsity or college athlete, you can still play sports for fun at the college. So in college, I played intramural basketball, soccer, football, volleyball, tennis, ultimate frisbee. And that's another great way to network and meet other people and meet new people and practice your relationship skills and just enjoy the college experience. And anyone can join, undergrad, master's, PhD. So it's a great way to get involved and enjoy the American college experience.
It's from Manish, like, how do I approach for teaching assistant, research assistant position in our master's? He has some experience. Well, first of all, if you have decided your university where you're going to, then I would be preferring to email your professor who is going to be under your research or under your course of study, and emailing him before even you come to United States that, well, this is my experience. Give them the portfolio and resume and say that you are interested in TA positions or GA positions. And if you are already in the United States, then go to your specific career department and ask them what are the deadlines, because deadlines is very important when it comes to TA and GA positions. And they are very competitive. There are many students applying for it, so you don't want to miss those deadlines. And it would be good if you research about it, talk to the professor, emails them, and be ahead of all the other students, because there is very competition while taking GA and TA positions. So you have to be ahead of everyone.
All right, here's a good one about networking. Pratik asks, how can you find the person on LinkedIn who has final decision to hire you, and how should you introduce I've got thoughts, but I want to see if you guys have any thoughts on that first.
I do have a thought on that I would like to share. I think that shows how you're getting the wrong perception of networking. Because just by saying I need to find the person who can hire me and I need to network with them so they can give me a job, that just shows how you're going into the relationship with the mentality of getting or of taking. Take. Actually, I think a great book for an introduction on what networking actually is a book, Give and Take by Adam Grant. It's an amazing book that actually explains that idea. And I think when it comes to specifically, I don't want to talk specifically about how to find that person, but I just want to make that reflection on the fact that you want to find solely that person shows that you're trying to network with the specific interest of just finding the job. So I think that is worth rethinking.
There is strategic value in the special resource doc that Sam shared and that we've been posting online. And maybe you can send the link, maybe one more at the end here, Sam. There's a book on there called Power Ties, the guide for international students to get jobs here in America. Dan Boudry, he's a guru on recruitment and hiring and international students. And his term power ties is literally that, building relationships with the people who have the power to get you the job. And so these ties are these relationships with strategic people like hiring managers, directors, supervisors. So that book actually gives a really good strategy on how to ask good questions, find those people, build those relationships, these power time connections and relationships that kind of bypass the formalities of HR that, you know, get you under the surface in the iceberg. And so that book is the perfect handbook manual. The link is in that document. So go check out Power Ties by Dan Boudry in that resource doc, because that's going to exactly show you how to build connections with the people that have power to get you the jobs that bypasses the HR formalities, which work totally against you as an F1 international student. All right, Dhruv, Gurish has a question for you. They say in computer science, there's Leak Code, Code Chef, and they get 4-star, 5-star coder levels and making a huge impact on a resume. Is there anything in mechanical engineering that kind of has something like that?
Yeah, so I was just thinking about that. That is a really good question for mechanical engineering. So for mechanical engineering, there's you don't have these websites where you can code or something, but robotic competitions, joining the SAE bar team, being part of ASME, like a equivalent club back in your home country, is very useful. You know, advanced robotic competitions, drones. Building these kind of devices, doing FEA, stress analysis on them. All of these kind of projects will talk about your technical skills and make you more profound, like 5-star coder level for CS. Someone is asking how much worth is a PhD in tier 3 or tier 4 universities in terms of the US?
I don't necessarily have an answer for that, but I have a reflection on my personal journey. I am in a tier 3, tier 4, maybe even tier 5 university. No one outside of a mile of 90 miles around Sioux City, Iowa knows what Morningside College is. So I know that the value of my diploma is almost worthless for the things that I want to do. So being in like big companies or even in tech startups in Silicon Valley, having a diploma from Morningside College is irrelevant. But with the things that I'm trying to do to complement the lack of name of my diploma is have a lot of projects, have a very strong personal brand, be known for the things that I'm doing. And also I'm considering going to a tier 1, tier 2 university to get my master's if I decide to pursue a master's. But if you're talking about getting your PhD in a tier 3, tier 4 university, I would say it is worth thinking about it. Because the main reason why I want to go into a master's program in a tier 1 university, well, the two main reasons is for the knowledge, of course, for the networking aspect of it, I would say third, and for the name. So that is my take, my perspective. I don't know if that applies whatsoever to your reality.
I can add to that. I have a few friends who are applying for the PhD program, and one of them was in molecular biology or genetics. So he said the whichever places have the best laboratories, the best scientists working, doesn't matter if it's tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, or 4. Generally, tier 1 and tier 2 tend to have better laboratories and scientists. So, but that doesn't mean that you are going to downscale the importance of it. And a lot of people try to get a PhD to get a green card in the US, or like a easy way to get permanent residency. But that is something that you should really think about if you really want to invest yourself in that degree or not, because it's a lot of commitment. It's not like masters.
I think the quality of the professor is really important, and the program and the funding for your projects. And again, you build your own brand. Your own brand is more important than the brand of the college. And I'd also say depends on where you've studied before. Where did you do your master's? Where did you do your undergrad? Because that could also compensate for being a lower tier PhD. Yeah, ranking definitely has a less impact in America compared to other places in the world. Here's a question. Shivangi asked, how to enhance your skill set and resume during this year as the admissions are deferred for fall 20 for MS Finance students. So for people who are deferring from this fall to next fall, they've got a year. One thing is Soundarya Pooja, who popped in earlier, she did a great presentation last webinar about how to maximize this time. Those very same principles apply for the summer or for 1 year. So go watch her presentation for the last webinar. It's great stuff about resume, LinkedIn, gearing up your skills, but I'd love to hear these guys' thoughts on how to maximize a year of deferral to be prepared.
I would even say that taking courses online, like even, and of course it's biased, but even taking like the Job Ready in 10 weeks course for you to understand how the job process works in the United States, that is the kind of stuff that you need to be doing now, man. Like most, if you have 1 more year to prepare to come to America, you should be taking those type of courses now, not only to expand on your hard skills, on your hard skill sets, but also expand on your soft skills, understand how to do the process, how to network, and how to actually be able to find a job. So to take advantage of this time that you have, enroll courses, join the Job Ready in 10 weeks program. That is the kind of stuff that is going to make a huge difference down the line. Huge difference.
And take some relevant courses or certification, which you can show it in your portfolio or resume, and which will be very helpful at the end when you graduate and you're looking for a job. So it will be very helpful if you spend your time building a good portfolio and taking some certifications, as Sam said.
All right, someone asked, is it going to get harder to get admits for masters for the 2021 batches now that many people from 2020 are deferring their admits to fall 2021? What do you guys think?
I mean, it's definitely going to be more competitive, but that should not discourage you from applying.
It all depends on your profile, to be honest. If you have a little bit more time and if you want to improve your profile, do some extracurricular activities to stand out of the other applicants and apply again or apply later, so that when you apply with the other students, because now you have a little bit of time, so you have some extra skills to develop or extra classes to take. So do that way so that you stand out from the other applicants, so you will be preferred more than the other applicants. That's the only way to make it less competitive. If you think that your competition should be with yourself to improve yourself and then see how it goes, not with thinking like what will happen, there will be thousands of people applying again, but that's not the point. It's to improve yourself and see what you think you will be after 1 year when you apply again, so that it will create a huge impact and you will be able to succeed and get more admits than before. You never know.
I think it's a blessing in disguise that you have like 6 months to 1 more year to have a short internship or a 1 year gig, or even take courses on LinkedIn Learning, Coursera.
One person said that San Jose State is not a research university, but it's got a very good location. What do you think? Should the knowledge be compromised for good networking? So what do you guys think about that?
I have a take on this one. So it really depends on your desires, right? Like on your skills, what you want to achieve. It depends on what side of the spectrum you want to go. If you want to go more to being in San Jose, if you want to go more to the techie side, more the startup side, then it's perfect location. But if you want to go into like hard research, I don't know what is the field that you're trying to go for, but if you want to go into hard research, academic aspect, then the networking aspect falls to be a little less important than the academic aspect of it. So at least for me, I would go to the Bay Area to study in whatever university just to be in the Bay Area, right? Even if it wasn't a great university. So for me, for the goals that I have, the networking aspect is a lot more important than the knowledge aspect per se. But it depends exclusively in the goals that you want to achieve.
Yeah, unless you really want to get into research, a good research university doesn't really matter. So it all depends on, like Sam said, your goals. All right, my buddy Ashan, what's up, Ashan? He asked, this is a good question. If we get a job offer while we're still a student, like in their final year or final semester, can companies start the H1B process before we start working with them? Like Amazon or big companies, as we've heard, the H1 process starts about in March and they graduate in May, and they don't want to miss that first H1 cycle. Is that feasible or possible or normal?
As far as I know, the status change while you're an F1 student is very hard, but that's only what I know. And I'm sure my opinion here, and I want to highlight is an opinion, is far from being 100% accurate. So I don't think, at least me, I don't think I would be the best resource on this. So I would recommend you checking with your international office. from what I know, it is a complicated process. Okay, people are
And
saying that it's possible.
the other thing is, if being on an OPT, as soon as you graduate, if you apply for H1B and you get your H1B, then it's good, but you will be losing your 3 years of OPT. So that's like 3 years of OPT, and then you do H1B, then it will be more years of your experience. But it's always good to go for H1B if you are graduated and your company is willing to file it. Then if you get it, then you will get the extension, and it is a good thing to do.
Sam, you have a thought for Kaustubh's question about the GitHub and certifications?
Yeah. So having a full-fledged web application on GitHub have more impact than certifications while full-time job search. I addressed this question in the Q&A of our presentation, and I think yes, it definitely has an impact. Whether or not it is more important than a certification, it depends on what you're applying for. So go back to the example, you're applying for an ML engineering position and you have a certificate from Coursera on ML, but you have a web application that has nothing to do with ML in your GitHub, then the certification has more weight. So it depends a lot in the position that you're applying for. But overall, having live things, having web apps, having just applications live and running and working are definitely a game changer. Just saying, hey, I built this and this is serving X amount of people definitely helps a lot. Just quick answer for the how can I contribute to open source projects. So sign up for the GitHub newsletter, the GitHub weekly discovery newsletter. Look it up. There's a bunch of every single week they send you a list of open source projects that you can join and contribute. And slowly start doing documentation, slowly start getting involved, and literally Google how to contribute to open source projects. There are hundreds and several hundred tutorials on how you can do this. So that's a good starting point.
All right. Well, this is a wrap for the Q&A. Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope you guys learned a lot. And yeah, if this video was helpful, let us know in the comments. If you want us to do some more online e-summits like this, we'd love your feedback. And don't forget about our Job Ready in 10 Weeks course this summer. We're so excited. Chine Coaching and Stephen Mentor have been working really hard. We're going to give weekly presentations, and we have weekly industry expert guest speakers to help you guys to fill in those gaps that the colleges don't really touch on in your job search as international students. So I hope you guys will let us guide you in your job search journey here in America. Cheers.